Welcome into week number 6 of the Acadiana post-game football forecast. Things are heating up across South Louisiana, and this week, the matchups are huge. Before we get into that, let's get into some huge performances from last week. We're running back heavy this week in our Players of the Week, and we're going to start with possibly the best one in the entire area. Future Ragin' Cajun running back, Elijah Mitchell. Erath ran for 597 yards as a team, which means their offensive line was eating. Gotta give love to the big boys. But Elijah led everyone with 300 plus yards and 5 touchdowns. If you get a chance to see him, do it. He's that good. Up next, we have Highland Baptist Brontre Griffin. Last season, he ran for 3,000 yards. That's right, 3,000 yards. And Highland finally decided to give him the ball last week against LCA. All he did was run for 250 yards and 4 scores in a 49-48 upset of the Knights. Look out, you can expect Highland to keep giving him the ball as the season moves on. And then finally, we have a freshman, Acadiana running back Dylan Monette. In his first taste of action behind that massive offensive line, he ran for 266 yards on 23 carries, including 2 scores. He took one 80 yards around the edge, and he gives the Wreckin' Rams an incredibly scary dimension of speed that they didn't have before this point. I also want to give a little bit of love to STM quarterback Nate Cox, who threw for 6 touchdowns. Even though the Cougars lost, it was not Nate's fault. Now, let's dig into our matchups of the week. Our first game can be heard on ESPN 1420 as the Acadiana Wreckin' Rams take on the Comeaux Spartans. Doug Dotson's taken his son Brett into the stadium that's named after his father. That's right, it's going down in Dotson Stadium this week. Comeaux is of course led by Brett Dotson and his favorite target Tenarius Achan, and if they are able to beat Acadiana, that will create a 3-way tie at the top of District 3-5A. Also, you gotta ask, can the Rams play another clean game? Last week they kept the ball off the ground and they picked up a big win on the road over Sulphur. The Wreckin' Rams are starting to pick up momentum, but the Spartans would love to put it to a stop. Up next, we have another huge matchup within district play. Game number 2 can be heard on Planet Radio 105.1 as Breaux Bridge takes on St. Martinville. We kick off District 5-4A play with a game that could possibly determine the district later on in the year. You have St. Martinville led by Jared Davis, Dylan Doucette, and DeAndre Potato James. That's right, don't call him DeAndre because everyone calls him Potato. Vincent Derwan's team is really starting to play a tough brand of football out in the Ville, but they're going to be taking on a Breaux Bridge team that has possibly played the toughest out-of-district schedule of anyone in the entire state. Terry Martin's got a QB competition on his hand though, so we'll see who takes the start and passes the ball all over the field for the Tigers. Oh, I can't wait for this one. Up next, we have another game that can be heard right here on the radio waves. Our last game can be heard on Talk Radio 960 as Ascension Episcopal plays Vermilion Catholic. For years, District 7-1A went through the Screamin' Eagles, but the Blue Gators are trying to steal that title from them. Ascension was fantastic last year, but they have not missed a step so far this year either. Jake Vaskiku's completion percentage is over 70%, so don't call him just a mobile quarterback. VC had a lot of young players to start the year, but they're maturing as we go. Who will win, Blue Gators or Screamin' Eagles? Also, those are 2 of the best team names in the entire state. Just to give a little bonus love, you also have STM taking on Beauchamp, as this is the first 5-0 start in Beauchamp's history. That's right, Josh Guidry's getting it done as the coach. Always again, make sure to listen to these games on ESPN 1420, Planet Radio 105.1, Talk Radio 960, and the Lafayette High Mighty Lions on News Talk 96.5 KPEL. And remember, high school football lives at AcadianaPostgame.com. And remember, if you want to stay in touch with everything football, subscribe to our YouTube channel on ESPN 1420, and remember to share this video with all your friends.